Hello and welcome to the first Sports Nerds of 2022. I don't know if I like this. I think I prefer this action.
Ooh,
Yeah, we are
worldwide,
widescreen.
baby.
I'm not a skinny guy. I'm a bit thick. I need a wide screen. All right, fucking 2022 is here, and lots of NFL coaches are gone.
Yes, they are.
Um, that's the main thing I wanted to talk about. But there is some other news, a couple other things that we were going to hit on today. Um, Carf just went to a Columbus Blue Jackets game. How'd that go?
Yes. They lost. They lost. Yeah, they did their typical thing where they get out to a lead, they give up the lead, then they come back and score, and then usually what happens is they usually lose by 2 goals. So because they'll pull their goalie at the end of the game, and then the other team usually gets a cheap goal, the empty net. So, yeah, that was standard operating procedure this year for Columbus. That or they usually get blown out. They gave up back-to-back 7-goal games, which is unheard of. It's like you have to try like really hard to do that. So
I mean, like scoring 7 goals is really good,
yes, it's
and
very
then to lose the game that you scored 7 goals
no.
in.
They didn't score 7 goals. They gave up
Oh,
7 goals.
oh, they gave up seven.
Back-to-back
Okay,
games. Yeah,
okay. No, I was just like,
yeah.
holy shit! Like, how do you score 7 goals and lose a game? Like, that is fucking amazing. Okay. All right. I watch a lot of hockey. I'm not against it. I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is. Are you still with me? You're kind of frozen. You're frozen. You lost Carf. Ah, man. He's the sports guy. I'm just like the flavor. All right. Well, I'm going to talk some bullshit while I wait on Carp to hopefully unfreeze.
No, that's fine. Hey, man, no worries. You don't. I don't hold that against you. So
uh, Carp, you're frozen.
you are. Yeah, you're frozen.
There we go. All right.
Okay, you good. Yeah.
All right.
No, I thought you were messing with me for a second there.
No.
You just like weren't moving. I'm like, shit, he's still frozen.
All right. Well, is there any other NHL stuff you want to talk about while we're on this topic?
At the moment, no, not right now. It's still kind of about midway through the season here, so there's still a lot of hockey left to be played. Stranger things have happened. A couple of years ago, the St. Louis Blues had one of the worst records in hockey. Then they went on this ridiculous winning streak, and they ended up being the Stanley Cup champs. So, not saying Columbus is nowhere near going to do that, but I'm just saying like for other teams though involved, so yeah, there's still a lot of hockey left to be played. So right now, there's really nothing too interesting going on, but nah.
Cool. All right, well, rolling right along. I want to switch to NBA. You cool?
Yeah.
All right. Now, who do you think had the better, like, not season opener debut? Would you say Kyrie or Clay?
As much as it pains me to say, I'm going to go with Clay, just because he's been gone so long. He's been gone, almost 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
So, yeah, he tore his ACL, then he came back from that, and he's about to start the season, and then he tore his Achilles, I want to say, or something like that. So he had 2 season-ending injuries back to back. And it's ironic too that Steph broke the 3-point record this season, and if anybody's going to be close to ever touching that, would be Klay Thompson. So so I think that was the more impactful. Kyrie, it's his whole thing was non-injury related. It was all about COVID and stuff like that. So I don't chalk that up as like this being some oh, he's back, or like some epic comeback or anything like that. So I think it's more I think it's definitely Clay.
And also, it's like Kyrie came back and they had a great game, but then like they lost like the next 2 games they played. So
Yeah, yeah. It's I mean, and it's I don't think yeah, he's back and he's always been more of an individual kind of guy and stuff like that. And so I mean, as long as he gets his, he really doesn't care. So it's yeah, I think it's more meaningful with Clay Thompson and just all the stuff that he's been through. And it pains me to say that as a Cavs fan because he's torched us 3 out of 4 NBA finals. So so it pains me to say that, but I mean, in my opinion, I think that's the better story.
I agree too, I just thought it was interesting because like Kyrie came back and had a pretty sweet game, like but yeah, like you're saying, like he wasn't injured, he was just kind of waiting, so he should have like a good game. It's like
Yeah,
the only thing he is missing is practice, so it was good that he do whatever. But Clay Thompson, I thought was the more. I actually thought like I don't even know like point if you put points up to points like who scored better, but yeah, more meaningful, more impactful, and then just more heart to it. Like the guy came back from like not playing for so long, and like you can lose a lot in that time.
yeah, man, you can get
Just
complacent and all that stuff.
or like you're just 2 years older than you were. It's like not even
Yeah,
it's not even anything about your attitude or whatever. It's just like, hey, I can't do these things that I used to be able to do anymore. But
yeah,
no, he's looking good, and I hope they both have a good season. But I was just I thought it was pretty cool that like we had a couple different players who were out and then came back like
yeah,
kind of
making
around
their
the same time.
returns and stuff. Yeah, but yeah. With that though, what do you think about just I don't want to say it's an emergence, but just how John Moran has really just taken his game to a whole nother level. It seems like. I mean, the guy is like. I mean, I don't know. I think this is his 3rd year. I want to say, and he's just. I mean, the guy's been unstoppable recently, and he's just taking over games, and he's like really coming into his own, which is nice. And he's small market team with the Grizzlies and stuff like that too. So I'm always rooting for the smaller market teams when it comes to the NBA. Just because like they just get tossed aside, and all the superstars they could
Oh
care less about
yeah,
the small marketplaces. So I think John Moran is the story though this year as far as the NBA goes. I think he's been on a tear, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go.
yes, I'm for a bunch of the reasons you just said. I'm happy to see him starting to take off, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And also, it's just good to have new stars.
Yes.
It's you're wondering who the next guy's going to be. Like KD's getting older. Like LeBron is almost done. Like
Yeah.
it's there's no Tom Brady's in basketball right now. So
No. No.
the but yeah, no, it's good to see, and any from anywhere, like if he was a Laker, it wouldn't matter. Like it's good to see new stars coming up and coming into their own. But also, yeah, like you're saying, good for a small market. Like
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, it's this one dude, and that he's putting the team on his shoulder and going through it. So yeah, I'm happy to see it. I hope he just gets better and better, and we'll see what there is to come. Last year the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks won the fucking title.
Yeah.
So you could definitely not call them a large market team.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No.
So maybe this is the time of the small market teams to get in there. Like that's but does he have the team to take the Grizzlies to a championship this year?
Yeah. I mean, I personally don't think so, but stranger things have happened. I mean, LeBron took the '07 Cavs all the way to the title. Literally, I don't want to call them bums, but I mean like guys that just like were just tossaways and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely possible. And these super teams now are on the decline. Really, I mean, you look at the Clippers. Paul George and Kawhi, I want to say, are both possibly having season-ending injuries, and there was talks of even the Clippers possibly trying to do a tank job here. And then and then the Lakers. I mean, they can't stay healthy, and they're. I mean, it's got.
Well, they're like the oldest team in the NFL, NBA, right? Like
Yeah,
the
and
Lakers
it's
are
like, I mean, like they have an all-star team, but it's like from 7 years ago or something like that. You know
right.
what I
Yeah,
mean? Like these
like
guys, like the only guy that's really in their prime is Anthony Davis. I mean, Russell Westbrook's on the, he's on the back
but Anthony
end.
Davis has always been finicky.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, he plays hard, but like he gets hurt. Like it's
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, those big guys, man. It's like if they don't like grow into their bodies, like they get injured all the time. Like look at Greg Oden, man. The guy he was tall as a house, but he was thin like a pencil, and he was like Mr. Glass out there. So I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, no, I think the NBA is going to be really exciting this year, especially come playoff time. Because they have the play-in tournaments and stuff like that now for those lower seeds. And then, and like we've been saying here, that these small market teams they're putting together good products. I mean, hell, Denver. I know it's not really a small market, but I mean, compared to like L.A., Boston, New York, Miami,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, like Denver, their team is solid. Utah's solid. The Cavaliers, they're finding their way. They got a pretty exciting core group of guys. It's like it's nice to see.
Yeah, well, I agree because like just watching fucking the Lakers and the Celtics every or you're like whoever, but like it
Yeah,
sucks. Like that does not make it interesting. It's like okay, fucking like or for like 5 years it was just like okay the Cavs and Golden State like that's what it's gonna be.
yeah,
And like I don't find that very interesting. I do like them mixing it up and other teams emerging and seeing and it's also good for like just like stories. Like I like underdogs. I like the smaller
parody. You like parody. And you don't get much parody in the NBA. That's probably like the least out of like the three major sports, I would say, baseball, basketball, football. Um, the least parody has got to be the NBA, and followed closely back by baseball, just because of it's all about the big markets, it's all about the big guaranteed contracts and all that stuff like that, and it's just how their leagues are set up where they can just a guy can just you can drop a guy, trade a guy, they got farm system, all this crap, you can bring guys up, bring them down, all that crap. So like it's you don't get as much parity like you do in the NFL.
yeah, because like also like NFL, two guys get hurt and your team is fucked.
Yes.
Like there's just no like there's nothing to do about it. Like so yeah, that's a whole different monster.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else going on in the world of basketball you want to discuss?
We got college hoops going right now. Baylor finally lost its first game. Duke has been up and down.
Yeah, they lost to Ohio State. Bunch
That's
of
right, baby.
idiots. Like,
And so,
I just don't understand how you are number one ranked Duke, and they're only supposed to beat Ohio State by 2 points. Unranked Ohio State.
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Hey man, it was on the road. It was in the it was in Columbus. Ohio State, I mean, they got a pretty decent squad. I don't think they'll do anything. I mean, they could be like, I think their ceiling is like a Sweet 16 team, but like other than that though, I mean, they've just been so inconsistent. But no, I get your point though, as far as the point spread goes. And especially this being Krzyzewski's last year too. You would think like these guys are going to be big time favorites, especially going up against an unranked opponent. But
Right,
it is a Big Ten team though on the road, and so I mean,
yeah, and I mean they're still up there, but like I just had losing to an unranked team seems to be like I guess it means less and less every year, especially if you're looking at college football. But
yeah,
it's just amazing to me. Like what is it? Why rank them then? Like that's what doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it's like what blew my mind was that I guess deservingly so now that Georgia was 2.5 point favorite against Bama after getting their butts blown out in the SEC game, title game. And
That was it.
it's like, what do they know that we didn't?
I was upset that like Georgia lost, for the SEC championship, and then we still ended up at the top four the way it was, and then B, I was just hoping that we weren't gonna get to see another. It sucks, like we just watched another SEC championship game.
Yes,
and like I'm glad Bama lost. Like roll tears. I'm down for Bama losing anytime.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was like, there's got to be something else that we can do. It's not just like the SEC is the greatest, the fucking be all end all of the fucking football, and then everyone else can eat a dick. Like, the process needs tweaking.
Absolutely, they need to expand the playoff, and they need to do it sooner than later. And ironically, the SEC you would think would lobby against that, because it's worked out for them so well
so far.
But if you expand the playoff, then that leaves the door open for a bunch of at-larges. So you could have like Bama, Georgia, LSU, and Florida being like 4 out of the 8 teams that get to go. But I
was sorry. We were talking about basketball, though.
Yeah, we were talking about basketball. Yeah,
Baylor lost. Yay! Yep. Who loves to see Baylor lose?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're just now starting conference play though with college basketball. So this is really the meat and potatoes of college basketball right now, is when these teams get to beat up on each other and stuff. The first couple of weeks of college basketball is usually fun because they got those tournaments, or they got the those out of conference games. Usually they're beating up on some D2 team or whatever, but every now and then you'll get some pretty good matchups. But yeah, now that the conference play has started, that's the exciting part of college basketball, in my opinion. And then just to see them hopefully put together a tournament this year, and with fans in the stands and all that good stuff, and we'll see.
I think they should play the games without fans. Like I feel like people should be a little more smart about it. I know you just went to a game, so but I went to the OSU Michigan State game, and I was rocking the mask and everything, but there's like 100,000 people in there, and there's like fucking 4 of us wearing masks.
Yeah,
like it is not. It's just like, hey, everything's fine, and like no one really gives a fuck that I guess less people are dying, but like a lot of people are getting hospitalized over this shit, and I think we can do another year without fans and still. Yeah, like you still play the games. Like it's not about because like back when this shit started, there was no TV deals. There's like 15 people who showed up to these games.
Yeah,
like there was a time when there weren't any fans. So I don't think that they're extremely necessary to the game, and also it kind of makes it more like if you're watching the game on TV or whatever, like if it's all about the game going on and not about the roar of the crowd and everything, like fucking I don't know, it adds and takes away.
No, I mean, you take away the home field advantage, which is and depending on, I don't even want to say the sport, because there's home field advantages in every sport, but depending on the teams, they really rely on that home crowd being the X factor. Any college football games. I mean, certain NFL teams. It can be an edge. It really can be, and so not having those fans, it can really. It makes a difference. So. Does it even the playing field? Yeah, in my opinion. But at the same time, though, it's like, I guess we're just conditioned to you think about certain teams or certain games or whatever, and you think about, the crowd and the fans were ruthless and all that stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's all part of the pageantry of sports. So that's what sucks about it. But yeah, they got to figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, again, like hopefully they do have a tournament, and it's like at least we'll get to see some sort of something. But yeah, it's like, yeah, how are they going to do it? How do you feasibly, responsibly do these things? And you know, it's not going to be everything it was, but like, what can we get now is kind
Yeah,
of what I'm looking forward to. But
yeah.
we'll see how it goes, and yeah, hopefully there's a March Madness and all these good things, and we get to have fun with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yes. All I got for NBA or NCAA basketball.
You want to segue it in here into the NFL?
Oh man,
Can I just start real quick though? Because
yes.
last time we talked, I got my wish. They moved those games Monday and Tuesday, but of course, I still didn't get. I got what I wanted, but I didn't get the outcome I wanted when the Raiders beat the Browns and basically eliminated them from the playoffs. But
that makes me sad too, because I personally I just hate to see the Raiders win. So like it was, we weren't sad for the same reason, but we were both sad at the outcome of that.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
But yeah, no, it's they did again, like they did the right thing. A bunch of dudes got COVID. Fucking, they're like, okay, we got to move this game because it's not going to be competitive. It's like that game the Broncos played with the fucking backup wide receiver as the quarterback because like we didn't have anybody else. Like, who wants to see that?
Yeah, nobody does.
So yeah, I am glad they did the right thing. So yes, that's a good note for you. Ring that bell. But it is not a good time to be an NFL coach right now.
No, it is not.
Yeah, like it's the firing season. I've seen a couple of the coaches that I thought needed to go. They've been fired, and there's still a couple out there lurking where I'm like, why haven't they fired these dudes yet? So let's go down the list.
Yeah.
No, there's really only like one surprise for me on there.
Okay.
I don't know. There's two.
It might be the same. We might have the same surprise.
Two surprises. Yeah. All right. Joe Judge for the Giants just got fired, I think, yesterday or today.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Unsurprised. Yeah. Especially after that press conference he had where he's like, these guys got a lot of faith, and there's a lot of shit going on. That we just don't win games, but they're yeah, I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but I'm glad to see him go. Joe Judge, you suck. Matt Nagy for the Bears.
Yeah, that's been coming.
Yeah, definitely needed to happen. I thought that should have happened like during the season.
Yeah.
I was unsurprised. Brian Flores for the Dolphins.
This was my big surprise. Yes. Just because of the streak they went on and just how that defense just really came on. And when Waddle got healthy, he was tearing it up. And hell, man, they turned Duke Johnson into a friggin' fantasy sleeper at the end of the year here. Oh, thanks, Jason. You just said, nice to see you guys back at it. Anyways, but yeah, so it's that the Flores one was just a big eye opener for me. Yeah, I know Tua's not the best, but I mean, he's serviceable.
Yeah, and I think he's developing, but I mean, like he's injured. He's just back from injury. Like what do you expect? I was very surprised because, like you said, like all these things are starting to come together. The team is starting to really come together, and they just get a couple things to to round them out, and I think could be a contender. It's not. It wasn't a horrible situation like like a bunch of these. It's like the Bears or the Giants or the frickin' or the Jets even. It's like they're not any of those teams, and then they fire their head coach. And another thing, like it sucks to lose. He's a black coach, and and he's doing a decent job. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't think like because again like Tua got hurt. It wasn't anything. It wasn't like Tua wasn't developed. It's like he if you can get the guy on the field, I feel like he's developing. You know,
Yeah.
and doing an okay job. I mean, obviously, who they have as the backup quarterback there is god awful.
Oh, jeez.
Bridgewater, not Teddy Bridgewater.
No. Oh, jeez. I don't even.
What's that guy's name? Anyway, doesn't fucking matter. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
But they're stuck with this dude. You know, he's doing the best he can. Like I don't see why they fired him, but I hope he gets a job. Maybe the Bears will pick him up. I don't know. I feel like he did a lot of good work and he should have a job.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, he did a great job.
Mike Zimmer for the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
I'm mid-level surprised, not like total surprised, but I'm like half. I was like, oh, okay, I can see you getting rid of him, but I can see you keeping him for another year. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like the Vikings were kind of injury plagued a little bit, and
yeah, they
stuff
were.
too. So it's not like all his fault.
No, but like, I mean, this has been their MO though. Like ever since he's been there, it's like they're a fringe playoff team every year. They either they limp in or whatever, and then they blow it. But yeah, and I mean, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. I mean, arguably, one of the best offensive weapons in football. And Kirk Cousins, Mr. I don't turn the ball over or whatever, and like they still couldn't put it together. And they got studs in defense too, man. And so it's just like the team's there, and it's like it's not like that Kirk Cousins is great, but he also doesn't suck.
No,
So it's like,
Kirk Cousins does not deserve the deal that he got, but also he deserves some sort of deal.
Yeah, I mean, people have won Super Bowls with less talented quarterbacks. Like Trent Dilfer or somebody like that. So it's like it's possible. So I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling he'd probably be getting the axe.
And okay, so of the recent firings, Vic Fangio, Fangio,
your boy.
Yeah, man. I was a little surprised to see Coach Ferratu go, but like the Broncos weren't shit. Like it's I was every time we won a game, I was fucking surprised this year. It's just like the Dallas game. I was like, holy shit! Like what happened?
Yeah.
But so it kind of sucks for Vic, but also you're just mediocre. So like there's nothing there. And again, a few injuries kind of kept your stars out for a lot of the season, but there's nothing explosive there. Where like I don't feel super solid about our defense. It's looking a little better, but it's not as good as it should have been.
Yeah,
it's yeah. You can definitely see Vic gone, and not. I'm not crying over it.
Mm-hmm. Nor should you.
Yeah, so we'll see who goes where. Oh, because obviously Urban Meyer and John Gruden got let go of earlier in the season.
Yeah, we got a lot of head coaching jobs open.
It's that's a good chunk of the NFL is looking for a coach right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be interested to see who gets what job and how they do.
Well, I have a little theory about all this. I'm thinking people are just dumping, even like the Dolphins and the Broncos. These teams that were 500 and possible playoff teams and had some good had some good runs there. My personal hypothesis is that all these teams are trying to get rid of their coaches and pitch Aaron Rodgers and be like, okay, you come here. Who do you want to coach? That type of deal. I'm thinking maybe, I wouldn't be surprised if that's some of the strategy of some of these teams that they're trying to court Aaron Rodgers and trying to see, well, we just got to get rid of this coach and see who he would like to have in here and stuff. So.
I'm just going to say it right now. Head of football operations in Denver, John Elway, is going to hire Peyton Manning to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos. we're gonna get Aaron Rodgers. Like that's how it's gonna go. We're gonna win every Super Bowl for the next 3 years.
Probably will happen. I mean, you guys got you got the offensive. I mean, you got the receivers. You guys resigned all your receivers, and then you got a great 1-2 punch with the with Gordon and Williams. And I mean, you guys got a solid team, and you just need a QB. You know.
Yep, and you know, and we had Teddy Bridgewater. What the fuck am I talking? Yeah, you know, he did an okay job. Sorry, I'm getting a text. Yes, all right. Do laundry stuff from the wife.
Important.
But no, it's yeah, he did it serviceable. Like I was actually very surprised at just how not terrible he was. Yeah, if we can get somebody dynamic in there, I'd like to see this team do something again. Like that would be obviously, as a Broncos fan, I'd like to see them do something. But you know, it's we got to compete with Patrick Mahomes right now. We got the freaking who's the quarterback of the Chargers? Yeah, Herbert. And then the Raiders are always like spunky. So it's like the division is not what it used to be because like you used to win 8 games and then be at the top of this division.
Yeah.
And that's what we would do. We'd win 8 games and then lose 1 game in the freaking playoffs. But yeah, you're not getting there anymore. Like it's fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, tough road, man. I mean, hell, I got to deal with it in the AFC North with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's like in this division where it's like, okay, the Steelers are going to win. Like, you know, pretty much every year. Like now, there's all of this going on, and it's like it's the whole landscape has changed. Yeah. So, like, I mean, I dig it, but it's also crazy. Like, you know, you like none of the you don't know what's going on. They have a quarterback in Chicago right now. Like, there's actually a quarterback there who might be good at quarterbacking. Like, who's ever heard of such a thing?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see how this round robin freaking round table spinning thing goes with all these coaches. But yeah, I'm excited for 2022 season to start.
Yeah.
Now that 2021
notice how we're as two fans on the outside looking in, because our teams didn't make the playoffs. We're all talking about the off season.
No, the season's over.
Yeah.
The season is over.
Yeah.
There's who cares? Like Super Bowl, what? I don't give a fuck. Like, do we need to look on to fucking September?
Yeah. Go to fucking Barstool if you want to learn about, you want to see some material about the playoffs.
I mean, anyone can talk about the playoffs. Yeah. Let's talk about the real stuff here. Like, let's talk about the guys who are going to work from the couch. Let's talk about the guys who are watching the Super Bowl from the best seat in the house. You feel me?
Right. Championships are won in the off season.
That's right. I mean, you got to do work. It's the grit that's going to get you there. All right, Mike. Is there any other sports stuff you want to get in here real quick?
Real quick. I just I'm kicking myself for not finishing watching the national championship game. I watched like the first 3 quarters, and it was just unbearable to watch. No one could move the ball, and when they did, it was just field goals and just but then it got all explosive in the fourth quarter. So
opened right up.
Watching that, not sticking it out, but.
I'm surprised at you, actually. Like, that is surprising. But I mean, also, again, like if you're getting into the end of the third quarter and you got 2 kids and you're tired.
Well, it's like, it wasn't even about that. It's just like, oh my God, it's like no one can move the ball, and it's like it is just. I guess I think we all were spoiled from watching the Rose Bowl, a week ago, and just watching points go back and forth, which that was a great, exciting game. Not just we're both Buckeye homers, but at the same time, though, like it was a fantastic game to watch, and watching Jack.
Like defense was not a thing.
Just smash records.
I mean, oh my God, yeah, fucking. That game, what's the receiver's name? Smith and Jigba?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait till next year, man.
Right? Like, oh man. And then obviously, like our quarterback, like threw for 500 fucking yards. Like,
Yeah,
300 yards went to one receiver. But like, if you look at Smith and Jigba's numbers, like 3 touchdowns, 300 something yards. If you're a quarterback, those are fucking awesome numbers. Much less you're the wide receiver. Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. It
Yeah.
was ridiculous, man. And it was like, and I was watching the game with some people, and they were just like, "Oh, this game's," it was like halftime or coming up on halftime, and Buckeyes were down 2 scores, and everyone's just like, "Oh, this is, they're done. It's over." Like, I thought they would kill these guys. I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like, they can just turn it on like
Well,
that,
but also, it's like we did have a lot of guys not play, which I totally understand. Like, I don't hate on any college guy who's like, I don't want to play this last game. It doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah,
I've got a career to think about. Like, I 100% understand that. We had like 5 or 6 guys not play,
yeah,
and it, like it took us a while to get going, but we figured out, hey, next man up.
yeah,
So, like the Utes put up a good game. Like,
yeah.
respect
They were,
to Utah.
yeah, they
Those
were
guys
solid.
came out there to play fucking football.
Yeah, man.
And I got they got no shame in their game. Like, they happened to lose that one. Like that was a good fucking game to watch. Like,
Yeah,
it was.
and to go back to your point about guys sitting out, like I'm totally cool with that. Um, it's just this older generation that grew up, like the Rose Bowl was like the biggest bowl game,
Right.
but it's like now we have the playoff, but even before the playoff, we had the BCS, and so it's just
Mhm.
like they basically said like, okay, there's only going to be a handful of meaningful games from now on, to crown a true champion instead of this, the Associated Press and the
Right.
coaches.
Amalgamation of something and then
Yeah,
ties and shit.
yeah. And so what do you want? Do you want a true champion, or, and 95% of these bowl games did not mean shit, or it's just annoying. And just to hear, guys like Herb Street and Desmond Howard talk about like, oh, these kids today, they don't care about the game. They don't love football. And it's like, they love
Uh,
football, but like it is a business. Like,
and
it,
and what and like I would expect, like if it was old coaches or something like talking this bad shit, I would
yeah,
kind of understand that. But from players who know how beat up you get, like who
yeah,
know like if you're trying to make a career, there's like your business is your body, and your body does not last that long.
yeah,
Like that is very callous to me to hear that from like Herb Street and shit. Like, you
yeah,
were a player, dude. You fucking know like what it's like. It is
yeah,
not after the game, win or lose. Like, it's not fun. You just got the shit kicked out of you. Like, I've seen some hits like. You're taking these hits, and it's like, wow. Me personally, would not stand up after that. Like, I'm done. I'm just not doing it.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Well, it
like,
was Ohio State played Notre Dame a few years ago in a New Year's Day bowl. I don't know if it was the Cotton Bowl or what, but Jalen Smith, the linebacker for Notre Dame, blew out his knee, and he was a top 5. He was like a top 5, top 10 pick, and thank goodness that ACLs now are like it's like treating a sprained ankle or something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
a common
Not to
cold.
that extent, but just like when we were growing up,
That's
you
it.
tore
You're
your
done.
ACL, you were done. You were done, 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 done. You're done playing football.
Or like Willis McGahee in the
Yeah,
fucking took that guy's knee out.
yeah, yeah. National
Gone,
championship. Yeah,
and he had
and
to
even back then,
fight back.
that was like a miracle back
Yeah,
then what he did.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's
so it's just like I just. Yeah, I guess it makes good bulletin board material or whatever to talk about. Oh, these guys don't care, or whatever, and all this crap. But it's
But
like,
I'm like, okay, like let's see what you do in the NFL. Like,
yeah,
I'm again, if the game don't mean nothing, you're not playing for the national championship. Take care of yourself. Like,
yeah,
it is. Like, you don't get paid for this. You don't make any money if you get hurt.
yeah,
So
yeah. You're gonna go. You go to especially like these teams that are like, God, they're like, Rutgers was like 5-7, and like they got into a bowl game. Like they're now bowl games are like now participation trophies. So it's like if you want the bowl games to mean something again, then
it,
you
there's
have then they have to meet. Then stop putting these shit teams and stop, coming up with these bowl games out of, like I don't know. I'm just looking at
The
objects.
Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
Yeah, the Jimmy, the Tootsie Roll tennis ball bowl or something. I don't know. Like I'm just looking at stuff in my basement here.
I love lamp.
Yeah. The HP printer bowl, like all this bullshit.
Yeah.
So like if you want the bowl games to mean something, then you got to stop saturating it. So that's all I got.
But yeah, no, I am surprised that you didn't watch the full national championship game, but hey, it is what it is. You missed out. I guess you won't make that mistake again next year.
Nope. Depends on who plays.
But yeah, obviously, there's also that. But yep, I think that's gonna do it for us this time around. Thank you for watching Sports Nerds 2022. Hopefully we get more than 4 episodes out here for you this year.
Yes.
But like life is hectic and we don't get paid for this just yet. So we're trying our best, but obviously, you gotta work the day jobs, you gotta do all these things. Yeah. And we love you. We love talking to each other. Like, and hey, Carf, like I love you, Carf. I love talking to you on
love you
stuff.
too, buddy.
I love hanging, but it just can't happen all the time, and it's hard, but we try. And
yeah, it sucks adulting.
All right. Well, I'm Max.
I'm Carf.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah. May the sports be with you. Oh, wait. We forgot to say Rondell can go to hell. So.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Rondell, dude. That's what I think. Fucking, what is this, his third time?
3-time champion.
Dude. Fuck that guy.
I just found a nice spot to put this trophy, too. Now I got to go get it. Put his name on there for a 3rd time.
Yeah. I think maybe this year we'll actually give it to him.
We should. No.
I don't know if he's ever actually had it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. No, we definitely should give it to him then. So.
All right. We'll catch you guys later.
All right. See you guys.